Good morning to all of you. So just wait for 1 minute or 2 minutes so that if anyone else is to join, then we will start our class. Okay. Good morning to all of you. So today we will have our distributed database class, and in our last part of distributed database, we have seen the things of that how the query or how the process or this means two-phase commit protocol, this type of things, how this particular request to PPM is how the transaction between a coordinator and a participant is managed. So means when a query is processed, so how the thing is actually goes or how the thing actually process, the thing is works on that particular. This is the mode that first a request, then a prepare, then a request to prepare for the participant. If there is option, if there is participant is not ready, then it is a no. Then the process is abort, and then the process is done. And in case of if the process is ready to use, then the process is actually yes and phase the goes on. So there can be as it is a distributed database. So the thing is that n number of sites are present and n number of transaction coordinators also present and n number of transaction manager also present. So managing all those particular things, it's a things that is a little difficult, as I said in our last class also. So today we will look for the how the query is actually processed. So how the query is actually processed, we will see that particular thing. So this is the process of distributed query processing. So today our topic is the distributed query processing. So distributed query processing means as it is a database or management system is doing this particular thing. Query is the integral part of this database management system. We all know that. So how to process the query in the distributed database, as there are number of sites, multiple sites are there, the transaction manager coordinators are in number of also, so the things is a complicated thing. So for a centralized database system for the query processing, there is a part of primary criteria that measuring the cost of a particular strategy is the number of disk access. So we need to maintain it in a particular way, the logbook or whatever the things, the where the things, the data means the central information need to be there where all the things is displayed, at which data size, what type of data or what data information, what data sets are available. So we all know that in local branches, in local sites, the local data is already available, as well as some data or some important data sets are also available for the query for the processing purpose. So we need to check the cost efficiency here, because as the number of sites are much more, there are a number of sites maybe, so managing these things, the network is there, the internet part is there, so a good bandwidth connectivity is needed, because otherwise the query cannot be processed in a fast, means in a short span of time. So this is a cost strategy. So we need to check out the cost, that how we can manage the cost also of this particular distributed database management system. So this is a particular one of the important criteria for managing the cost or measuring the cost of a particular strategy is the number of disk access. So if a query is processed, so suppose the user have asked for a query or have generated a query. So for retrieving the data for that particular query for the output purpose, we how many data sites, how many sites or how many databases we need to access, that is a problem. Because if we don't have a logbook, or if we don't have a information that at which data site what type of data are present, then we cannot manage this particular thing within a short span of time. Because for a particular query, if every time we are accessing every site, then it is of no use. So the query cannot be processed within a short span of time. So that is a no purpose. So this is a scenario that we need to manage this particular thing. We have a information so that the query can be processed within a short span of time from a particular data site. So in the distributed particular system, the other issues also there, that is the cost of data transmission over the network. As I said, that internet is also an integral part of it. So query the cost of data transmission. So querying the query will be the generated query will need to reach each of the data sites, and then querying that whether the data is available in that particular data site. So moving every data site and then look for that, it is a time taking and also cost effective. So the thing is that performance will be delayed. So the in the term of performance, there is a term that is a performance that will be delayed. So we don't need that, because user needed that data very fast. So we need to check the performance also. The potential gain in performance from having several sites process parts of the query is parallel. So a parallel processing is going on here. So the thing is two major issue. First one is the managing the cost of the particular maintaining the database management system or distributed management system, and also managing the network part, data transmission over the network part. So a problem statement is given, just a simple problem statement. There may be a user have asked that how many times has the moon circles around us, a simpler query, or the have been asked, and the output is 240. So the user, maybe as a user, I am just asking or typing a query, typing something in our as a query, and we can see the output within some millisecond, within some millisecond. But how fast this actually happening in the back end, that is our main target, that is our main target or main issue. So the thing is here, the response time, throughput, fast answer, all of the detail, input output, all of the others related searching details that needs to be processed. So this is a part where the things goes on. So throughput, response time, these are the terms again we are getting, which is already is a part in our network. So whenever a things network is coming here, then the response time, throughput, these are the part we again talk about each time. So here the centralized or for the distributed query processing, the problems are same, the parameters are objectives are the different, problems are same. The network again, so as network is connected, as network is here, so the response time, throughput, delay, these are the terms or these are the things that will again comes into the scenario. So we need, the problems are same, but the parameters for this particular processing is just a different part. So the thing is that some declarative query in the input part, some the query for SQL, OQL or query. So these are the software or these are the query language processing things that is actually is the part. Then translate the query into the algebra. So how the things process? Then the translating the query into the algebra. So here the thing is actually happening that translating the query into the algebra, translating the query into the algebra. Then optimizing the query, physical and logical both. So we need to optimize the query in the case of physical and logical term both. Then how the thing is operating, the trees of operators are there, the compilation part is there, and step 3 is the interpretation or the query result. Interpretation of the query result. So query processing, the software maybe anything can use, the query processing softwares are there. Translate the query into algebra, translate the query into algebra. So there is a term that is a translating the query into the algebra. Then optimizing the query in the term of physical and logical both, into the term of physical and logical both. Then tree of operators, that is the compilation, and then the interpretation of the query result or the query result. So a simple example here for given a query is the select A dot B from tables that A and B, that are maybe the tables where A dot A equal to B dot B and A dot C equal to 31. So this is a simple query where we can see that a select, we need to select some A dot D from table A and B. There's a table name given where that condition is applied, that A dot A equal to B dot B and A dot C equal to 35. So drawing that particular things as a step, we can, as the steps are mentioned, that translate the query into algebra or the tree of operators. So we have creating a tree into the writer part, that is that A dot D, that is we need to select from where the table's name, that A dot B is the A comma B is the table where the condition have been made, that is the A dot A and B dot B equal to A dot C and A dot C equal to 35. So these are the conditional part. So then the process is the querying, then we are getting the value from the tables, which table, that is at A and B. So first one, what we need to select, then the condition, what are the condition or the logic applied, then the term from what table we are actually getting. So these are the tables, that A and B are the tables, and we are actually getting the value A dot A and B dot B and A dot C equal to 35. These are the condition, and we need to find out that A dot D, which will be our as a result or output. So these are the three type diagram or tree type structure. This is our tree type structure, and that is a relational algebra for SQL for every things actually. So we need to draw a relational algebra tree type algorithm or tree type scenario, tree diagram, by which we can understand it easily. So these are the process, or this is the thing, that whenever a query actually process, it is actually easy to understand if we break it into a tree shape diagram. If we break it into a tree shape diagram. Then there are the query optimization part. Query optimization part. In the left part, we have just draw the tree diagram. Then our in the third part, in the next part, there is a tree query optimization. So there the query optimization is that then hash joining is done, where the logical is happen. We have seen that it has been replaced by the hash join. So the hash joining is happening here. So we are achieving some value of B from the B table, from B dot B from the table B, and A dot C of the index part. So hash joining an index at A dot A and A dot C, we are getting the value from the table A. So there are the things that of cost model, or you search heuristic to cheapest plan. So we need to apply that, what is the thing or how we can optimize this part, how we can optimize. So what are the process we can use, that by which we can optimize the process, or by which can the things can be take shorter time, or the things can be optimized. So that again some example, it's actually just from A that B means that value will be John. So it is the value is John actually present here. So has joining. So we are getting some values from the index.ca.c database, and we are getting some b.b value from the B database. So there are a library of operators, a has join, merge join, many type of joinings are present. So we can use any of them as per the things that how we can optimize the query. Pipelining will be there, exploiting index and clustering in database. So there will be indexing and clustering in database also present. So the thing is that we need to, with the longer query, we are breaking into a segregating into the smaller part, and then we are actually processing the querycal part into, by which we can optimize it. First, we are going to optimize the thing, and then the thing will be processed, or then the thing will be queried. So what is the idea between this distributed query processing? So the thing is that in our previously we have database management system and all of the things, but that is the extended part of physical algebra. So this distributed database management system or the distributed query processing is the extended part of this physical algebra, where send and receive operators or the acknowledgement things happen as the things I have seen previously, that first the transaction coordinator send the participant whether they receive to acknowledge. So the process will be as per that. If it is ready to yes, then the process will, then the query will be processed, and if it is no, the process will be abort. So the transaction coordinator takes the important role to coordinate that whole thing, to coordinate the total thing. Then send and receiving the operators and resource vectors, network interconnected matrix caching and replication, all of the things are there. Then optimization for response time is there, rest predictability in the cost model, and heterogeneity in data formats and the data models, data formats and the data models. So these are the particular things that how the process actually query or the things actually different from our previously database management system, previously system of database management system. So physical algebra and send and receive operators, transaction management, transaction coordinator takes the role to manage and coordinate this particular thing, to coordinate this particular thing. Then the resource vectors are there, and network interconnected matrix caching and replications are there, mashing replications are there. So these particular things are actually present where the scenario is we need to see. So these are the distributed query plan, that first of all what is the thing we need to achieve, then what will be the inner joining process we can actually use here, then the process of receiving and sending the data, then the process of receiving and sending the data, and there is some indexing, and from the particular part of BA, whatever the particular database size are, we are actually getting the value. So query will be optimized by the process of receiving, sending, by joining these particular things. These are the examples, the particular things. So we will move to the part that the query transformation. So as the thing is that the query will be transformed first into some relational algebra. The query will be transformed first into the relational algebra. So translating this algebraic query. So first of all, whatever the query is, it will be translated into some relational algebra type of tree-type structure or relational algebraical query. And then it will be break down into the fragments. It will be segregate. So it must be possible to construct relation R from its fragment. So it may be possible that to construct a relation R. So whatever the from the fragmentation, whatever the fragments have been done from the query, maybe we need to construct a relation from the R from its fragments and replace that particular relation, and then replace that particular relation by the expression to construct relation R from its fragments. So we are replacing and then again fragmenting. So fragmenting each time of the data to find out a new relation between the replication of data, between the replaced data. So there is a fragmentation happens scenario, looks into the scenario that there is a relation or table of account. So fragmentation of the account relation have been done, that account one, there is some branch name of Hillside and account two having in the branch name of Valley View. So there are two particular accounts, one is from Hillside and one is from Valley View. So the query from the Hillside becomes, we are actually doing just a joining part. So branch name Hillside, then account one union account two. So which will be optimized by the Hillside, again breaking into the part that be Hillside account one union Hillside account two. So maybe some values will be present in account one of Hillside and values will be present also in account two of Hillside. So we will actually breaking and optimizing. So breaking that particular thing, fragmenting the data so that which particular data lies into what particular fragments. So fragmenting, by this particular fragmenting, we can achieve the data, we can get the data. Simple joining process. So consider there is a following relational algebraic expressions in which the three relations are neither replicated or not fragmented. So maybe there are things account, depositor, and the branch. It is a banking scenario where three particular things as account, depositor, and the branch. So account is stored at S1, depositor at site 2, branch at site 3. For a query issued at site S1. So S1 is for account that is stored. So account detail is stored at site 1. Depositor details is stored at site 2 and branch details is stored at site 3. So for a query issued at site 1, the system needs to produce the result at site S1. So for a query, so from where, which particular site the query will be issued, the result should be displayed at that particular site. So maybe a query have been issued from the S1, but we need to achieve the data from the S2, S3, but the result or the output will be showing in the S1, or the from where the query have been generated, from where the query have been generated. So from where, which site the query have been generated, the data needs to be, the output needs to be reflected at that particular site, at that particular site. So all the three relations between the site S1, and choose a strategy processing the entire locally at the site S1. So we are having from where the query is generated. So if the query is generated from the S1, say from the site 1 actually, so the relations are for achieving the data, how much process have been done, or whatever the process have been are going on in the back end. So we need to choose a strategy. So whether we need to do a hash joining, whether we need to do the merge joining, or whether the indexing is there. So whatever the things are there, whatever the logic or process we are using, that will be happening at the back end, and that will be happening in the entire locally at the site 1. So site 1, because if it is the query have been generated from the site 1, the value needs to be displayed as site 1. So it will be a process that will be done by the site 1. So of the copy of the account relation, so copy of the account relation to site 2, and compute the value of temperature 1 of account 1 into depositor at S2. Shift the term 1 from value of 1 S2 to S3 and compute. So each of the value, so whatever the value needed for the query process in the S1 locally, the querycal but the values will be shipped from the different sites to S1, the from the S3 and S2, whatever the things, or whatever the fragmenting value needs to be shipped from S3 and S2 to S1 for the local query purpose, for the query process in the local site. So that's why the things that the fragmenting parts will be shipped to that particular site, so that the process can be goes on and we can have the value. So revise the similar strategies extending the roles of S1. So must consider the following, the following factors, that are the amount of data being shipped, how much data we need to ship for the query process in the local site. So that's why the fragmentation done. So if for a query process, each time we are shipping the whole data set from a particular site to another, that is of no use. So which particular part we need to use, which particular part is useful for that particular query processing, we need to understand, and that's why the process is fragmented. Because if whatever the parts will be required, only that particular part will be shipped to the local site, will be shipped to the local site. And relative processing speed as well. So processing speed is our interconnector or network issue, is a matter of concern, because if the processing speed is not so fast, then we will receive the output, or the output will be delayed, or the output will be delayed, or the output will be delayed. So these are the strategy. First one is a normal query processing strategy. Simple join processing strategy was there. Then semi-join processing strategy is there. That here are saying that is a relation one with a relation with schema of R1 stores at site one. So in site one, in the site one, there is some relation of R1 between with the schema of R1 is stored. In site two, the same for R2 with the schema of R2. And then we need to evaluate the expression of R1 with this operation of semi-join operation of R2, and obtain the result at S1. Obtain the result at S1, or the site 1. Obtain the result at the site 1. Then compute the value into the temp 1 with the by union of R1, the R2, and R1 at the step of site 1. So shift the temp 1 from the S1 up to S2. So we need to shift the particular, again the data set that is required to site 1 to site 2, and then for the computing process will be goes on. Then the computing process will be goes on. So that's what the fragmentation or segregating the data is helping us, that for each query only the particular part which is actually needed, that particular part will be shipped to the local site, so that the query can be processed, not the total data set, not the total data set every time. So parallel processing can be done. So from each from a different site, if any process, any query, more than one query have generated, or two or three query needs to process parallelly, then for that particular two or three process, only what data sets is required, that data set will be shipped to the particular data size from where the query have been process. So we can have the data, we can use the data. The data will not be blocked by as the total data is not actually shipping. Only the segregating data that is only useful, that will be shipped to the particular site. That will be shipped to the particular site. So more than more than one query, or two, three, four, whatever the query, that can be processed at the single time and the parallel processing. So these are the things that are the normal semi-joint definition, given that R1 semi-joint R2 is denoted. It is actually the expression that R1 is semicolon R1 semi-joint is R2, and it is defined by the pi of R1, where R1 semi-joint R2 is present, and thus R1 and semi-joint of R2 is selects those tuple of R1, and that contributed to R1 and R2 relation between the R1 and R2, and then we are calculating the value of temp that but a variable, and that will be the strategy for extending the series of semi-joint states. For extending the series of semi-joint states. So, what are the advantages of this particular DDMS, or what are the advantages actually going on? That it reflects the organizational structure. It reflects the organizational structure. Means maybe a company having many branches present. So managing the data or the organizational structure, how the organization is structured or how the things have been working, the things processing, that will be the advantages in the DDMS. So we can have the process, we can have the local data sites for the local query processing, and as well as the centralized data site where the total things is actually place total data is actually there. So so data loss will not be effective here, because if any of the sites have the lost the data, then other sites can provide the data, that particular data sets to for the query processing. So this is the advantage: improve shareability and local autonomy. Improve shareability. So sharing is a it means parameter in this data distributed database. So sharing means sharing the data of local sites between each other. Sharing the data of the local sites between each other for the term of query processing. Improve the availability. So I have said that availability will be there, because if any of one of the data sets is failed to process the data, to supply the data, then other data sets will be there to manage the thing. So failure of a particular data for particular site, failure of a particular local site is not much effective, or is not much hampering the dataset or database management system, that distributed database management system. Reliability, because we can rely on if one data set fails, and again these are the similar term. So shareability, reliability, so these are almost same, because if one fails, then others will be there to manage the process. Then things is there, that is the performance, because high parallel performance can be goes on. Parallel performance can be goes on, but the thing is, for the parallel process or for the fast process, the things are the segregating or managing the role of transaction coordinator. This plays an important role. Then the economics or the modular growth. So economics of the modular growth, here the thing is a little contradictive, because as distributed database management system or the process have been takes place in the several parts, so that's there is a thing that the things need to be managed, or the economical, the cost is much high to manage this distributed database management system. This is a cost effective thing. So the process or the cost for this particular database, distributed database, is a little bit high things, but still it gives a much more efficiency, much more reliability, much more performance. So by the parameters of these particular things, the performance, reliability, availability, these particular terms, that by which we can identify the or mention this distributed database management system, it is very helpful thing. It is very helpful thing, or it is also a part of growth of the particular organization or the particular thing. It is, or it is takes a particular growth of the organization or the particular thing. So we can say that DDMS or distributed database management system is a helpful thing, because for each time we don't need to rely on other or the central data store where the things have been placed. The power for the query processing is present is also on the local sites. The local data sites have the local information, and also some other major information with the connectivity of the central storage, central database management system, and also the other local site via the network, that makes up the things very easy to process, the query for easy to process. So this is a advantages in the part of distributed database management system. But only thing, the disadvantage we can talk about, that it is a cost effective thing, and we need a skillful person, skillful database management system person or administrator who can manage all the things, because as the number of sites are very much, the coordinators, the managers are very much. So for to make us make a contact between each of the sites, between each of the coordinator for the for a particular processing the query, that is a important thing in the part of this distributed database management system. So this is the part of distributed database management system. This is where our topic of distributed database management system is one of the module of this distributed database management system, but the query processing, what are the things, this particular module will end here. So anything, if anyone wants to ask, they can ask me. And one thing, that write down your names in the chat box for the attendance purpose, because I'm going to mark the attendance. So manually, so write down your names in the chat box for the attendance. And if anyone have anything to ask or say, then they can ask me or tell me. So I hope all of you have write down your names in the chat box. If anyone misses to write it, so kindly write it so I can mark your attendance. Or if anyone have to say anything, then they can ask or tell me. Otherwise, I am going to end the session for today, and we will meet in our next class. So if anything anyone wants to say, they can, or otherwise, I am going to end the session. Okay, so thank you all for joining into the session. And again, the thing is that take care and stay safe in your home.